Hello, this is Maggie Wolken with Module 4, Understanding My Community. Today I will be discussing USD 413, Chanute Public Schools. I am fortunate to have lived in Chanute since I was 15, so I am very accustomed to the traditions and things that take place within our community and district. Chanute has average school sizes and classes for a 4A public school district. Our community is very involved into each athlete, especially during football and basketball. Each fall we have a soap scrimmage that is held by our booster club. Athletes are known to support one another at each athletic event. In the fall, we have a fall pep rally. This event changed a little bit this year as we were let out at a half a day of school, and the entire District K-12 participated in a parade downtown. After the parade was over, everyone gathered at one spot down at the pavilion downtown of Chanute. We then enjoyed a hot dog picnic and introduction of all the fall sports. Ecology Day in Chanute, you will notice high school students around the community completing community service for the community. They are even known to come to the elementary school and the middle school and do service projects for our students. The nursing home sees visits from our school district throughout the school year. We are known to be taking them cards on specific birthdays or even singing Christmas carols for Christmas and visiting them to read books during the spring with one another. Chanute is very well known for the Ralph Miller Classic during the basketball season. Our vocal and band teams still have concerts. Homecoming week, we have a week that is dedicated for a spirit week. We have prom in the spring. Artist Alley is an activity that is known very well here in Chanute. It is the last weekend in September. This, you can see in the photo, is a picture of Artist Alley this year. This is a time that our entire community gathers downtown to visit the surrounding booths of vendors that have created different types of art. Another special celebration here in Chanute is Veterans Day celebration. This is done at our local middle school. They are put on a presentation for each veteran within our community and then end with a parade. Population characteristics for Chanute, Kansas. Our educational levels vary throughout the community. It varies from either having no additional education from high school level all the way to a doctorate level. Currently in our district, we have 1,824 students enrolled, with 688 of those students being at Chanute Elementary School and 110 of those students being in the kindergarten hall that I teach in. You can see our population and the median age here for Chanute. Occupations, when looking into the employers that employ the highest amount of community members from Chanute, it kind of took me by surprise. Neosho Memorial Regional Medical Center is our local hospital, and it is currently employing 437 people, and USD 413 is currently employing 262 people. Our average household income is $49,149, with our average household rent being $605. I was kind of surprised by that rent number, as I really thought it was higher. I don't rent and have not rented for many, many years. But it just seems like anytime I talk to parents, it seems like rent averages more around $800. Our poverty rate is at 23%, and our race population is white at 87%, and our Hispanic population is 7.67%. That has raised quite a bit in the last couple of years, and I feel that we will continue to see that grow due to some job opportunities that are developing within our community. Some of the community channels within our community is our local newspaper, the Chanute Tribune. This is offered online, and they also have a Facebook page. I don't feel that their Facebook page has been updated as often as it was 5 or 6 years ago. However, it is still available through Facebook. Our local radio station has an educational spotlight every morning, and our district and schools use social media to regularly post about things going on within their buildings or within our district. And we use mainly Facebook and Twitter. And then, every week we have a weekly in action email that goes out to parents as a text message. That's just from our district office explaining things that are taking place within our district that week. Chanute has its own news channel. I live out in the country and do not have satellite TV or cable, so I was kind of unaware of this channel. However, I did hear that they use this channel quite a bit at the middle school level for some social studies events. Our district does have an all-call and an all-email for every parent in the school district. So if they were needing to reach every parent quickly, they are able to do an all-call and an all-email. Coffee with the Superintendent. This is an event that started happening last year. Our superintendent would meet downtown at one of our local coffee shops, and it was just for an hour once a week or once a month, just depending on how busy his schedule was. And he would just visit with anyone that would show up. If they had questions, he would try his hardest to answer them. And if not, they would just enjoy a cup of coffee together. Chanute High School currently has its own YouTube channel, and this is where you can find live feeds to all the sporting events. And we also have a Facebook forum for principals and superintendents. This has not taken place this year. However, it was really heavy throughout the COVID years. This was just a time that our superintendent and principals would get onto a live Facebook time, and they would share any news about safetyness and illnesses within our community. And they would have an opportunity for parents to ask questions within the comments, and they would answer them throughout the Facebook Live. Some of the groups that you can find throughout Chanute, Kansas we have our athletic groups, and this will be found at the school level and in our community level. We have recreational sports through our rec center, and then we also have a local swim team. We have our school sports. We have several church groups. Our churches do gather together several times a year as one big, large youth group. Our band parents have an organization together, and we also have 4-H and FFA. We have Booster Club and a USD 413 Foundation, the Rotary Club, and Lions Club. This is a club that we really encourage our high schoolers to be involved in, and they provide lunch once a year for those members. Small group businesses are very involved within our district, and they really help our USD 413 Foundation out tremendously. One small business owner, our State Farm local office, has a teacher of the month. She comes to every school and recognizes one teacher within the building. Our school board, of course, is a group, and then we also have Communities in Schools. This is an organization that you can find in our elementary, middle school, and high school. This is where parents can find resources to help out with rent, gas, utilities, food, and clothing. And again, that is in every one of our school buildings. Leadership starts at our school board, and it just runs through our district office and building administration and teachers and staff. You know, our coaches, not only at the school level, but also the recreational level, tend to build a pretty close bond with each one of their team members and team players, and are seen as leaders in those students' eyes. Our USD 413 foundational chair has done tremendous work for our district. She started this several years ago, and this is a foundation that was developed so that parents do not have to provide school supplies for their students. So in August in Chanute Walmart, you will not see a school supply for USD 413. Businesses can sponsor students for $10, or teachers can donate $1 to $5 per month out of their paycheck to help with this foundation. They do not only provide for our students, but they also provide for teachers. We have a teacher closet located here in the elementary school. And when I say closet, it is nowhere near a closet. It is the normal classroom size. It is actually an old classroom that we have turned into a teacher's closet. So any materials that you can think of that you may need can be found in this closet. And if it is not in there, they will do their best to find it within the community. And, business leaders and the Lions Club and Rotary Club are also very helpful throughout our community as well. Some economic conditions that may make it a little rougher here in Chanute is that we are at a 63% eligibility rate for free and reduced lunches. We used to have a higher rate at this, but when COVID did hit, parents, the state allowed parents to not have to fill out the form for free and reduced lunches, and everyone qualified. So something that we have found is that it's hard to get parents to fill that paperwork out now. So that is something that we are adding to our enrollment, is so that parents don't feel that if they are questioning whether or not they're eligible, no matter what, everybody has to fill that paperwork out to enroll. Like I said earlier, the average household income is $49,000 and our unemployment rate is 4.1%. We do have a local community college, Neosho County Community College here in Chanute. They have a local campus, and then there's another campus in Ottawa. This community college works very well with our high school and our district. And if the students are enrolling in the nurse's assistant or patient care assistant, welding technology, or medication aid in high school, they do not have to pay tuition or fees through a grant because they are taking them while in high school. They can also enroll in the EMT course. However, it's not offered every single year. So that we see those three as the main technology or technical field of degrees that are coming out of our high school. Some things that we feel that we have lost due to COVID, not a very big deal, but Pizza Hut never opened completely whenever they were allowed to. They have only reopened for carryout only, so no dine-in. Again, not a heartbreaker. Lots of parents lost their jobs due to COVID. So, there was a few years that we had families really struggling, and they really needed our resources in that communities and school program. So that came in very handy. However, I'm seeing that it is improving as each year goes by. Some political structure within our community. Politics and education, it's always going to be there a little bit. However, our board does a tremendous job of listening to our administrative suggestions for the most part. Something I have noticed as a trend is that when they go to hire the superintendent, they normally hire outside of the district. Our community does support the school district. They do very well at supporting us. However, there are times for disagreement on some issues. We have had several disagreements this year with some bathroom issues at the middle school and the high school age. And we have had some issues with the new cell phone policy at the high school. They are not allowed to have their cell phones inside the school building. And of course, social media creates a problem for everyone, as they just tend to put their thoughts on social media before supporting or asking any questions. So that just leads us right into some social tensions that we see here in Chanute. Chanute is really not a diverse community, not terribly. We do have cliques and we have groups, and I think you're going to see that everywhere you go. However, I feel like here, parents tend to hang out with the parents that their kids are hanging out with. You know, if your kids are into swim, you're hanging out with the swim parents. If your kids are into baseball, you're hanging out with the baseball parents. Discrimination, again, I think it exists everywhere, but it's nowhere near as big of a problem here as it may be in a bigger city. We don't see it very often. I feel that the next two are our biggest social tensions, and the first one being economic status. Again, we don't see it as much in kindergarten or in elementary. It's starting in 4th to 5th grade. They're starting to get opinions and starting to see their friends differently if they do not have the economic status that they want them to. Definitely getting harder as they get older, and in high school, they definitely see it. Social media has caused several tensions. We have some local Facebook pages that allow for any opinion that anyone would like to share. And it's just important as educators that we just make sure that we are staying off of those pages and maybe not even reading what is written, because we just need to remember that is their opinion, and that if they have a problem, hopefully they will come to us and we can work things out. Some community efforts that have been put in place in the past is we passed a bond issue in 2006 to build a brand new elementary and high school, and we remodeled our middle school. Our community has also developed some new recreational facilities, such as a new swimming pool. We have a new dog park, a new sensory park, and a new spray park, and we are right in the middle of building new baseball and softball fields that include turf. The power of structure within the district starts at the Board of Education and goes down to the superintendent and then the assistant superintendent. Then the head principals of every building is next, and then on to the assistant principals. And they all collaborate together and then bring it into the PLC leaders, and then the PLC leaders take it to the certified staff and on to classified staff. Some multicultural issues that we are facing here in Chanute is the growing Hispanic populations. Little has been done to help us with this in the past 10 years. To accommodate for that growing population. We have one translator for our entire district, and she is an aide in a first grade classroom. And so when we are doing parent-teacher conferences and we need a translator, it is very difficult to schedule every single one of those parent-teacher conferences in a 2-night period and make sure that we are meeting the needs of every single family throughout those conferences. We have a 64% economically disadvantaged, and so it is important that we need to start implementing more parent education programs. Our communities and schools does a very good job at helping with that, and our mental health services within our buildings also do that. Religious beliefs, we just need to make sure that all students and families feel welcome within our district. Public opinion, we don't do very many surveys, and we don't really ask for our public opinion very often at all. I will say during the COVID years, there were tons of surveys sent via Google Forms. However, I don't recall any since we came back to school. Social media, there are parents out there that will share a positive opinion every now and then, again, but several are negative. It's just depending on the day. So from weakness to strength, I really feel like our public opinion, prior to COVID, we did not send out any questionnaires for our families, and we really haven't sent out any since COVID, since coming back to school. So I feel at times we only get the advice of families that are part of different committees within our district, and that it's time for us to really focus on our core values that we have set as a district and include all families and students and start getting their opinions as well. We have changed. Something that I feel that kind of changed was that we went from a PTO to a foundation, and maybe parents don't feel as they belong to the foundation versus the parent-teacher association. So PTA, parents were more willing to participate, and the foundation, I don't feel that we have parents participating. So I think it's important that we start engaging families and communities in our participation and asking for their opinions, and that will only strengthen our students' learning and support our school for improvement while advocating for the needs of our school and community and promote the current, future success and well-being of every student and adult involved. By conducting a psychological inventory on my school and community, I improved by my ability to promote the success and well-being of the students and adults in my district. As a building leader teacher, it is important that I know the history of the community that I am engaging in order to maximize the participation. By promoting and engaging within the families and community, I will be able to strengthen student learning, advocate for school improvement, and the needs of my school and community. This assignment reminds me of the importance of identifying and understanding of my community while making sure everything we put into our community engages families, community members, and school personnel to strengthen student learning, support school improvement, advocate for needs of our school and community while promoting the current and future success and well-being of every student and adult involved. This assignment allowed me to think about my community in a way that I may need to do more often. Because I'm familiar with this community, I sometimes feel that I don't always use the information that I have at hand with everything that I do. All this information in this assignment has been at my fingertips every year, but now I ask myself, what have you done with it in the past? And I need to not take this information for granted and make sure that I am doing everything to include my entire community into my students' learning path. Here are the resources that I used to complete this project. Thank you for listening.